Hi guys, welcome back to the video. In this episode I'm going to show you how to tie a killer CDC pattern known as the yellow owl. Really popular all over the country. A lot of fishermen have it, and for good reason. Constant results. Possibly over in America would work well. Anywhere there's a buzzer hatch really. So most waters in the world really, when there's fish rising and they're hitting buzzers, emerging. Any, CDCs, just absolutely killers. So in the vise, I have a size 12 dry fly hook, barbless. I think it's important to use dry fly hooks for dry flies, just because they're designed more lighter. So they'll hopefully stay a lot more buoyant rather than the weight of the hook pulling your fly under, even with buoyant feathers and gink and etc. So yeah, try and use dry fly designated hooks. For the main part of the body, I'm using a Vineyard yellow quilt. Obviously CDC feathers, these are from Kindale, but most companies got them. These are just in natural, quite dark brown. I have a hard wax for the dubbing. Just allows the dubbing to grip the thread easier. And the dubbing I'm using is a seal's fur in black from F&F. I like this one because it's a bit more shaggy and messy, because you want that head with dangly bits coming off it, imitating legs or bits of matter while the fly's trying to hatch. I'm just using a UTC 70. Great for small flies, easy silk, goes on nicely. And start from the head all the way down. I like to do a little bit of a curve in the back, just to imitate buzzer wriggling, trying to break free of the carcass into adult form. So the quills come on this piece of card. They're all little separate ones, so you just take one off the end like so. Gonna have one loose turn, and then because you don't want it too bulky at the back, don't leave a lot of excess, just tie that in tight. And then back up to where your body would finish, so about there. And then we start wrapping this quill around the hook, touching turns, and it's good because each strip of quill has that greeny line on the end, so it looks a lot like a rib of an emerger. The traditional way of doing this is to use yellow thread. Let's get it in. Yellow thread, and then using a black thick floss or a ribbing thread, and then you just tie the yellow first and then bring the thread up behind it, like rib it up like a buzzer. But this is the easier way of using quill, does a job for you really. So that's the body. So if you take 4 or 5 CDC feathers, and then if you just line them up at the tips, can be quite picky, but just take your time, just so the ends are all in line, a bit like that. Then you want your CDC pulley about the same length as your shank. So I'm going to tie it on about there, one loose to catch, and then start bringing it down, still holding the other end, and make sure your shuttlecock is directly on top of the hook, because you want it to sit perfect in that subsurface. So I'm still holding the ends, and I'm going to cut them right down like so. I'm just going to tie that in now. That'll form my bulbous head anyway, like so. So I'm going to come down, and I'm going to give about 3 or 4 turns just in front of the eye, just to make that elevate the feather, so you can imagine like a parachute. So now I'm just going to wax on the thread a little bit, just rubbing it on. That'll form a little film there for this seal's fur grip onto easier. This problem with seal's fur, it's very sparse dubbing, so if you haven't got wax, you find a lot of the time the dubbing just falls off, or it's hard to wrap it round, if you see what I mean. So that should do. So I'm going to start building this now, just like that. Usually as well, people use grey or a like a hare's ear colour of dubbing, but I'm just using the black one because it's what I had, and I caught a lot of fish on it, so black works. And from here, I'm actually going to finish the tie. Some people do it around the front, but I think it's just more convenient finishing it here. So I'm just going to varnish the thread, seal that knot in. Just behind that dubbing there. Three knots. Cut that. I'm just going to finish the fly with this dubbing brush. Just pick out some of this dubbing head and then pull back. It's creating a lot of little messy legs there now. That's why I like this dubbing. Just gonna get a tiny bit here now, just to neaten up, cut it in at an angle. And that is basically your fly finished. That's my variant of the yellow owl. Make sure you tie these. Any CDC, but this yellow one particularly, great pattern. As usual, you can find me on Instagram at Welsh_flyfish. So if you're interested in more content, pictures of patterns I do, etc., go onto there. And like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Share with a friend if you think they'd like it. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.